It's a great day to be alive. I get to interview Joe Sullivan and Brianny Terry, right? Mm-hmm. Terry, that's how you say it. You have 3 all-time world records, correct?
Yes.
3 all-time world records in powerlifting. Just turned pro, IFBB Pro, and 15 days later was squatting like fucking 500 pounds. So she could definitely beat my ass. But yeah, I have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah.
Because you're a very unique athlete. And I was asking Joe yesterday if you have any sports backgrounds, and he told me something opposite. He said you have no sports background.
I didn't play sports really. I did a little bit of volleyball in middle school, and it bled into high school a little bit. But then I got interested in smoking weed and drinking. So
that's what I've heard.
But otherwise, I just did gymnastics for a couple of years. But I was never really into sports.
That's insane. Because when I saw you, I was like, she for sure did track or
That's
soccer
what everyone says.
or something. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're just a freak just like Joe, so I'm very interested in your guys' relationship and in you.
Yeah.
But I want to know basic ass question. When did you start powerlifting? When did you realize you're fucking strong and you're better than a lot of these other girls? When did that happen? Did you just start squatting?
You said it.
Did you just start squatting 405 in fucking college and just be like, oh,
in 4th
damn.
grade, actually. Yeah.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, goddamn. That's what it seems like.
I started powerlifting in end of 2017.
Oh, damn.
So it's been, I don't know how many years, 5 years or so, I'd say. I did normal fit chick shit in the gym, hitting legs 3 times a week, cable kickbacks, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I did CrossFit for a while. And I was always interested in the heavy lifting portion after the Ollie lifting and shit. So I always stay later to back squat or snatch or clean and jerk. And then I had a friend that was like, hey, you're really strong. Have you thought of powerlifting? I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And I figured out what it was, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna do that.
And then you just become a fucking legend. It's that easy, guys. Just fucking.
It's just heavy circles. Powerlifting isn't hard.
God damn. I see that you post that on your story. You're like, powerlifting is not hard.
No.
That's a real thing? It's just.
I mean, especially after bodybuilding.
Is it not hard for? Is it just easy for you? That's what I'm getting.
Well, I mean, it's hard. Yes, I do die. The shit does hurt, but it's I don't know.
Which one's harder, bodybuilding or powerlifting?
Bodybuilding.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because it's if I'm 2 weeks out and I'm going to go have a burger, I'm 2 weeks out of a powerlifting competition. It's I could probably make it fit.
Yeah.
But in bodybuilding, it's you're either prepared or you don't fucking eat. And you're starving all the time.
That's true.
And you're delirious and you're tired and all this other shit. And it's
damn.
With powerlifting, it's I'm fed. My body just hurts a little bit more.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay. Shit. That makes sense. But yeah, you're just fucking sick. Yeah, you guys are just fucking sick. Your guys' relationship is sick. But you're coached by Jake Benson. Jake Benson. Yeah. Okay,
we're all a part of his cult.
Yeah. You guys are assembling a fucking squad of superheroes. Mm-hmm. You have you, Joe, Maddie Forberg. Who else? Hunter. Also?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Our other friend Hassam, who's probably going to take the 242 all-time squat world record at American Pro.
God damn.
Yeah. It's pretty gnarly.
That's a stacked team right there.
Yeah.
That's a good roster.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I'm going to try to not be a fucking loser and get in there one day. She thinks I'm a loser, so I have a lot of pressure on me for my first show. My second show technically, but my first one with Joe. So we're going to fuck around and see how it goes. I'm
excited for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a little nervous.
If you get your shit together.
Yeah, I definitely need to get my shit together, but it's all right. But this just popped into my head. This is so off topic, so I apologize. But when I met you yesterday, you came back from having a meal that is new to me. I've never heard of it. It's called a deflex meal. And you said your excuse was you're a girl, so I'm gonna start using that. If I go out to Cheesecake Factory and Joe says, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm gonna say, "I'm a fucking girl." Don't you remember that?
I'm just a girl.
Yeah. But that is interesting because do you know all the names of deflex? What's the other two?
What's the other one?
G-Flex, and Flux Protein.
Yeah, I don't know if I can look into it that much. I just look at the plan and I follow it.
Okay, that makes sense. But okay, so fuck. I gotta gather myself here. I guess what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of questions about training as well, but how do you manage doing both you just turned pro and then you went right into a powerlifting prep?
Yeah, because I'm stupid.
Or did you start how does that even fucking work? Does the powerlifting prep start in the bodybuilding prep? Or are you doing anything to like start that process?
Well, like the way that Joe described earlier, it's like my bodybuilding prep did not look like a normal bodybuilding prep, because if it did look like a normal bodybuilding prep, I would make adaptations that would make me suffer when it comes to powerlifting. So we really had to like think about things in mind. So like I knew that I wanted to do the American Pro before I knew exactly which show I wanted to do. And it was kind of just like, hey, can we make both of these happen at the same time? It's like, okay, let's see what we can do, but it's going to look majorly different from what my last prep looked like, because my last prep, I didn't have any plans to do a powerlifting competition. So it's just kind of like modifying that.
So are you saying you still won and turned pro without, are you saying you didn't go all the way in to bodybuilding and you still fucking won? Is that what I'm hearing, Joe?
I mean,
everybody?
Yeah. Kind of.
That's crazy.
Because like I know for sure like I wasn't as lean as I could have been. Like it was obvious. It's fine. Whatever. My glutes weren't striated and they should have been. But in order to be able to do both things, which I wanted to do, which is stupid, because it's like now that I'm a pro powerlifter, I guess, and an IFBB pro, it's like I'm kind of too good to keep doing this. So it's like I need to focus on one goal at a time. So if I haven't decided if I'm going to focus on powerlifting or bodybuilding next year, but it's like whatever one I do, it can't be both.
Oh, so you're going to have to pick one.
Yeah, because it's like now, if I were to go on a IFBB Pro stage with the way I looked at USA's, I'd get fucking murdered.
Really?
Yeah.
You look jacked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was jacked, but it's like those girls can literally grate cheese with their glutes.
That's crazy.
So in order to be able to compete with pros, I needed to be like 5-8 pounds leaner than I was. So
damn. And you still won though. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I still won. It was good enough because like my shape and my structure, but it's like once you get to a certain level, it's like now I'm back at the bottom of the totem pole. I can't.
Right. I hear everybody say that. Once they get their pro card, they're just fucking level 1 again.
Yeah.
But you think so? Are you saying that the training? So what that would be the difference of you getting 5 to 8 pounds leaner would be just doing like you weren't doing bodybuilding training. Joe said you were doing like CrossFit workouts every session.
Because I'm so good at like, and my diet was a lot harder than it needed to be. So like, there was a long point of time where I was eating 72 grams of Cocoa Pebbles post-workout 3 times a week. And that's all the carbs I had.
Oh, that's it?
Like, no rice, no potatoes, in any other meal. Like, it was fucking brutal. But it was that way because in order to not fully adapt to the bodybuilding lifestyle so that I would suffer with powerlifting, like I had to do things the hard way because I literally look at carbs and my body holds glycogen.
Yeah.
So we had to make it very strategic on how to get me to keep muscle and also lean down, lose body fat, and also not fuck up my powerlifting.
Damn.
Which is like
That's
very
crazy.
Stressful. And shout out to Jake because I stress him out so much. But
yeah, Jake sounds like a fucking genius because all this shit confuses me. I don't know how that's possible.
Me either.
But it is, and she's here. So, yeah. So that's crazy though. So the training. So what'd you do to your last prep? What's the difference between? How many preps have you done?
2.
That's 2 preps. What's the difference? So the first prep when you were training, were you doing like the full bodybuilding thing? Because you weren't in a powerlifting. You weren't gonna do a powerlifting.
No, I was actually training with Jared Feather from RP was my training partner.
He's jacked.
He's big motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I was just doing like, I would have like a glute day. I had like a ham and glute day. I had like a delt or a push day, whatever bodybuilding terms you want to use, the generic shit. But it wasn't generic. It was obviously tailored to me. But it's like I was doing. I don't remember not doing a set of less than 10.
Damn.
It was always like 10, 15, 20 or like shit like that or supersets and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I had some supersets this prep, but it was like 2 working sets. And I would go and do like jumps or sprints or some sort of circuit. And I was never doing that type of stuff. And like last prep I was doing, I remember a time I got up to, there was like a week stint where I was doing 3 hours of cardio a day.
Oh yeah, I think I saw you post on your story. That's
but
insane.
This prep, I did 20,000 steps a day. That was it. And then the last 4 weeks, or the last 3 weeks, I think I did like 10 30-second sprints post-workout, like a couple days a week. So it was like, it was way better. I was way healthier. I had more energy.
Yeah,
It was cool. So
okay, so then if you did the, regular bodybuilding training, the first prep, were you leaner that prep or no?
No, I don't think so, no, because I got to a point where, like, I was lean, but my body metabolically was, like, so stressed that it was impossible for me to go anywhere. Like, I had nowhere to go. Like, my nose started turning black. I was super unhealthy.
Yeah.
I would, like, wake up, take a nap, eat, take a nap, go to the gym, come home, take a nap. Like, I was a zombie.
Yeah.
So I looked good, but I was, like, a skeleton.
Damn. Yeah, Joe was telling me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I know you posted it, the little nose thing.
Yeah.
That was sketchy.
That was scary.
That was fucking scary.
Scary
but
shit.
which one do you like better? What style of training?
I don't know.
And okay, when you say CrossFit workout though, because that's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that. So, and a lot of people would look at that like meatheads like myself,
They're
if
like,
I didn't know them, be like, you're not gonna fucking make gains off that, brother.
Dude, I had someone like look at my program or like I talked to them about how I was training. They're like, you're gonna lose muscle.
Yeah.
And it's like I did DEXA scans, and from March to June, I put on 6 pounds of lean tissue.
Damn. So what style? I guess I'm just interested in. Is it like low volume? Is it powerlifting? CrossFit? Like I don't even know what the fuck CrossFit does.
So I would like start a workout with like sprints, and then I would go into like 5 rounds of 10 push-ups, 20 lateral raises, 10 inverted rows, 10 goblet squats, 2 minutes on the assault bike, and just repeat that for 5 rounds. Yeah, that's the workout.
Holy shit.
So it's like I was in awesome shape. I felt very fit. I felt very good, but it's like, it's very different. But as to which I like more, I don't know, whatever I'm currently doing. Cause like, even if I'm doing, even when I was doing like some bodybuilding stuff, like when I was farther out, I was still doing squat, bench, and deadlift in some capacity. I just wasn't maxing out like I am pretty much right now, or going super heavy like I am right now, solely focusing on powerlifting.
Yeah, that's crazy. So so then I know there's a rebound post show that everybody talks about. That's super important. What are you doing? Because I'm like, I see you squatting fucking 5-something pounds, and you just turned pro. And in my head, everybody talks about the day before the show, you're basically gonna fucking die. You're so unhealthy. But then you and Joe post things of like that competitor that just won. I don't know her name, but she was jacked as fuck.
Christina, probably, maybe?
Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Yeah, and he said she was in the best shape of her life. Like her
Dude, her
resting
heart rate was in the 40s.
Yeah, so I'm like, what the fuck? Like your rebound, what are you doing? Are you like? I want to know. Are you just eating? I guess you're eating more. Like, what the fuck does that even look like? Do you have after the show? Do you have like 2 days where you just do whatever you want, or did you go right into like, this is how we're doing it? We're gonna increase food, or did it even go that high?
Well, I think the 2 days post show, I did have a little bit of fun, but it was like during the day, I was on my shit because I already had like my meal plan for the post show. And then like at night, I would go to like a dinner or something like that.
Right.
So as far as like the reverse diet, like I've had a few more treats than I'm supposed to.
Deflex, she's a girl.
I'm just a girl, you know? But really, like I set myself up for success. Like I have my meal plan written down on my refrigerator, so it's something that I pretty much look at every day. I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect. Like I've put on a few more pounds than I would like to, just from enjoying myself. But this time around, I feel a lot more in control. Like last prep, like last reverse diet, it was one of those things where I was like eating shit, and then I would come to and be like, what the fuck did I just do? Like I was binge eating. Yeah. I was hiding food. I was, I would like go out to go run an errand, and I would get food and then hide it. Yeah. So like Joe didn't know or whatever. And then it's like, oh fuck, how did I get so fat and unhealthy? It's like, well, I was going to fucking McDonald's. Yeah. And you didn't know about it, so sorry. Yeah. But this time around, I feel a lot more in control, even though I am letting myself have, the treats. But I don't feel as guilty, I guess, this time, because I'm, for the most part, keeping it under control. Because I think that's why I signed up for the meet post-show, because last time it was like, okay, I had this show, it was, now what? Like, it's over. What the fuck do I do now? Yeah. So it's like being able to have one goal, and it's like, yes, I should be able to enjoy myself, but honestly, like, I enjoy being an athlete. I enjoy competing. So it's like, this is only helping me not go off the deep end because I still have to make weight after this. I still have to get to 165.
Oh shit.
So,
damn.
yeah.
That's. But also, okay, so my version of powerlifting when I was in high school, it was, especially with Mark's old videos, McDonald's, whatever the fuck you want to eat. I mean, it really doesn't, I'm sure I know, fueling your body with the right food, like Joe has me doing, makes a huge difference. But back then, I feel like a lot of people saw powerlifting and attached it to eat whatever the fuck you want. So did you go through a phase, like before you started working with Jake, were you still doing 5-6 clean? Were you like, what was your diet then? And how is that different now? And what benefit have you seen? Because I see Maddie Forward, you guys are creating like a lot of motion with everything that you're doing, but it's super unique. Like even, I mean, the meals he has programmed for me, like my last meal has no carbs and it has like, it's like a protein shake with MCT oil. And I was like, I'm gonna get fucking small and shriveled up from this. But then I try it and I wake up and I feel amazing. My digestion's great. I feel like I'm processing the food that has carbs in it throughout the day a lot better. My sleep has got a little bit better, my energy levels. So I'm like, what have you noticed and what kind of approach did you take to nutrition before working with Jake?
I mean, I always I'm a nutrition coach myself, so like I mean, I wasn't always, but I've always been pretty good about eating relatively clean, doing CrossFit, adopting the paleo shit before that, and just like I generally just know how to eat pretty well. I've always kind of tracked my food in some way. I've been chronically dieting on and off since I was like 16. I'm 27 now,
shit.
so.
Okay.
But the biggest thing with like Jake and the things I've learned recently, especially since becoming an elite athlete, is like it's not necessarily down to your food choices. It's all about like nutrient timing. Okay, so like I would often like spread out my macros spaced pretty evenly throughout the day, and it's like, well, there's no need to really do that. It's like I just prioritize my carbs around my workouts and keep it as low fat as possible because I need to absorb those nutrients as fast as possible to fuel my training session. And I get farther away from my workouts, the fat goes up, I ingest more red meat, things like that, which I wasn't doing before. Then it's like, if I'm not really moving that day, well, why do I need carbs?
Right.
So if it's a rest day, I'm pretty much like trace carbs.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot better from that. And my body composition has changed, and I feel stronger, and I feel better, and my digestion is great, so.
That's the one thing I was telling Joe is, it's not, before I was eating a shit ton of carbs, but when I got to him, I was telling him my insulin sensitivity, I was getting soft. I felt I just felt soft, and I started getting weaker in the gym. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on?
You're like, I'm eating.
Yeah, I'm eating. I know I'm eating enough carbs. That's for damn sure. But then when he pulled it back, and like you said, I feel like those basic little rules, if people don't, even if you don't have a coach, I feel like people can just, if they just, that alone, placing the carbs around the training, you don't really need or just know when your body needs carbs for fuel and energy. I think that will get you fucking jacked.
Absolutely.
Because you guys, I feel like there's a period of powerlifting where there's a lot of fat people. I have nothing against fat people, but I didn't see, there was like Larry Wheels that came up that was jacked as fuck. There was Stan.
Well, it's like, look at all of the top powerlifters right now. All of them are in pretty good shape. Like you have Joe, you have Hunter, you have me, you have Christy Hawkins, you have fucking Chad Penson. They all look pretty fucking good, and they're all fairly lean for being, a powerlifter, not having physique as their sole focus. Yeah.
So I've seen that's been super cool to see, because I know a lot of people, even when I was in high school, stuff like that, everybody just thought powerlifters were just these fat people that you can eat fucking Twinkies in between sets and your rest
10-minute
periods.
sets.
10-minute sets, and you just do whatever the fuck you want. You drink, you do whatever the fuck you want. But to see you guys kind of create and push something different, which is health, first of all, and just really being fucking jacked, looking good and being strong, I think that created a whole new little wave that I see a lot more people like you said, you, Hunter, Joe, Chad, all these people are fucking jacked. Like I feel like if they wanted to, maybe they might not have the perfect structure at the time, but if they just focus on bodybuilding, I'm sure they could fucking look amazing.
And like all the chicks I know that are transitioning from powerlifting to bodybuilding are fucking killing it. Like Hunter, she won her pro card second show. There's Amanda Kahatsu. I think she was just at Super Training not too long ago. I don't know. Or she might have done something with Super Training. She turned pro in figure, won overall at nationals. There is Sierra Cho, who's a pro in wellness. Me, who's in women's physique. So there's tons of chicks that are killing it in the game, transitioning over.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, I didn't ask Joe, but we talked about it a little bit. I've never met a couple that is both fucking, this is the most anabolic couple I've ever met in my life. And it's very, I feel like rare, at least for me, because I'm not around these types of people. Aside from Mark and Nsima, obviously I'm around them, but like outside of that, I'm not around too many people like that. And you guys are a couple. So you guys are both at the fucking top. So my question, even though you've already kind of answered it, is like, what does that look like? I know you guys have a routine. How do you keep a healthy goddamn relationship? Because I can't even do it, and I'm not shit. All right, I'm a normal guy, and a normal girl, and we're yeah. So I just wanna, I don't know. I guess you know what I'm trying to say. Not normal, but like we're not fucking up here like you guys. So I'm like, like that has to be, you have to run into some type of problems, or do you just structure it to a point where like you said, this is my fucking shit, this is your shit, you fuck right off, and we're just gonna do our own thing and be together.
I mean, we had like some rough patches, I think, in the beginning of our relationship a little bit, because when we were talking last night, it's like Joe had never been in a relationship with somebody else who was like as good as him or even better than him. And so he was a little bit selfish with his like time and like his training, or he would like take longer or do whatever, or hold me up, or I'm in the middle of, I'm doing my rest times and he's like, I need you to spot me. And it's like, okay, but I have rest times, you know, and eventually it got to a point where it's like, hey, like technically if you look at the scoreboard, I am better than you in this sport, because this is a coefficient based sport. I'm better than you. Yeah. I care about this just as much as you do. Right. So we can either figure it out or we can go our separate ways, because this is always going to be what I'm going to do. This is always going to be what you're going to do. So it came to a point where it's like you have to have systems in place, something that works for you both. We both have the same job, so that's easy. You know, we both work from home. We can both make our own schedules. So it's like now we have kind of a thing where it's like, so let's say Monday he squats, but Tuesday I squat. That's like his day. That's his thing. So it's like I'll train earlier that Monday so I can be with him that Monday night, and he'll do the same for me. Okay. So it's just like learning how to be there for your partner. Literally, it comes down to communicating and asking what they need. It's like, hey, I need you to be there for the session, or hey, I really don't have it in me, or just like checking in with each other constantly, which can get kind of annoying every once in a while, but it's like, I don't know. That's how relationships work. Yeah, no, that's refreshing to hear, because it really, what I'm hearing is it really doesn't fucking... It's basically the same stuff. Yeah. Whether you're jacked and at the top of what you guys are doing, or if you're like me and you're a fucking loser. It's the same. It's the same things. It's the same things apply. So I get it. It's like give and take. It just comes down to having like being able to properly communicate, and then also having a certain level of respect for your partner. Yeah. And if you don't have those two things down, it's never going to work. Especially if you have two athletes who not only compete in the same sport, but who compete in a sport at a very, very high level. Okay. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I always was curious about how that dynamic worked. So, because I asked Joe a little bit yesterday, I was just like, man, I have to know. I really want to know, because I've dealt with some crazy shit, but I've never dealt with somebody. You have the scars to prove it. Yeah, I do have the scars to prove it. But I've never dealt with, somebody. I can't imagine if, I don't get you guys don't come off as crazy at all, but you guys definitely doing some extreme shit. So I can't imagine, being with somebody and they're like, I got a fucking 600 pound squat tomorrow, and we're in a fight. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I would do. That's hilarious, stress. Because that's literally happened before. And there's been times where it's like, you have to do this tomorrow. We're not okay right now, but for this 2 hours of tomorrow, we need to be okay. Oh, so you sometimes, okay. So you guys gotta, so that's how fucking serious your guys' shit is. Yes. Is you'll put the relationship on pause. Yes, it's for the squat. Yes. That's crazy. And we'll deal with this shit after. Because it's like, I know how much this means to him. I know how much it means to me. And it's like, don't get me wrong. There are times we absolutely do fight and go back and forth, especially when like, we're getting to the 4 weeks out mark, and
Yeah.
everything fucking hurts, and everything's fucking heavy, and you know the anabolics might be a little bit higher than they normally are, and we're a little bit more irritable.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is my fucking best friend at the end of the day, and we're doing what we love together, and so any problem that we may face can wait until we accomplish what we need to be accomplished, because we're fucking in it together.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's super helpful for somebody like me too, because I can apply this even though I'm not doing anything. I can apply this to even friendships, because some people, I think that's super important. Yeah. Some people also don't understand. I feel like it takes somebody like Joe to be able to fucking understand that, because I feel like if you're with some average Joe, he'd be like, what the fuck I don't give a fuck about your squat.
No, yeah, I've had that before too. So it's like you also have to be with someone who, and they don't even necessarily have to be doing the same thing that you do, or like you don't have to date another bodybuilder or another powerlifter who does the same thing as you, but they have to understand your goals and they have to respect it, or else it will never work.
Right.
And you have to be able to be confident enough to say and communicate with them like, hey, I know we're not good right now. I know you fucking might not even want to look at me, but I need you right now for this moment.
Yeah, that takes balls.
Yeah, and you have to be confident enough in that other person that they will oblige in order to get whatever goal done.
Yeah, you guys are strong in every possible way.
It sucks. It's a lot of fucking swallowing your pride.
God.
And like, I don't want to talk to this motherfucker right now, but I need to.
And you guys drive to the gym together?
We drive to the gym together.
Oh shit, what are those car rides like?
Oh, there's been times where it's been silent, and I'm like...
Silent? Silent
time.
treatment.
But it's like, it's one of those things too, because like, no matter how mad we are at each other, it's like, we're going to be mad together. Like, Joe has tried to like, leave the house before, and I'm like, no, you're going to stay here. Yeah. Like, you're not going to go do something else. We're going to be mad in this house on the couch.
Oh, shit. You got to face those issues. Face those problems, goddammit.
Yeah, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, we're both very independent individuals, but like, I'm codependent as fuck. Like, we both are. So it's like, even if we're good, if I'm upstairs, like, cleaning the bathroom or something, if I'm up there too long, he'll wander and be like, hey, what are you doing? And he'll like sit on the bed and like hang out.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I love that. That's great. That's how I am. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that's insane. I always wanted to ask you guys, because I see it on Instagram, and I don't see, actually I do see a lot of couples, but you hear a lot of shit about different people. As I'm learning, I'm meeting different people. You hear a lot of crazy shit. So
and it's always the motherfuckers that try to act like too happy on Instagram together.
It's always that. It's always the people that post.
Yes.
Like it's. I support posting all that shit. Embrace your goddamn relationship. Yeah. Show it off. Show her off. Yeah. But it's always usually the people that. And I'm guilty of this shit. Let me tell you, I'm probably the most guilty. I'm definitely the most guilty. So
like, what are you making up for?
Yeah,
buddy?
I'm gonna be transparent. Yeah. When you see, 5-6 posts of a chick, and I'm like,
he's apologizing for something.
You know we're fucking fighting. Yeah. She just stabbed me. So that is tough. But yeah, it's usually those type of people. So it's refreshing to see you guys in a healthy relationship. You guys are a team. You're building something special. So I'm excited to be a part of that in some way. And yeah, I'm just fucking excited. I got to meet you guys.
Thanks.
That's fucking amazing.
We always think it's so hilarious how much people like on Instagram or like our friends love our relationship, and it's just like, I don't know, I'm invested. We're just chilling.
Yeah.
We like looked at each other and we're like, we can never break up. Yeah. It would like disappoint more people than
yeah, you guys can't. You guys gotta figure it out. I'm sorry. You guys gotta fucking figure it out. That cannot happen. Yeah, that is definitely, I would say powerlifting wise,
powerlifting mom and dad.
You guys are definitely up there for sure. But Wyatt?
We're good.
Is that good? I kind of wanted to, I don't know.
If you have another question.
Well, I wanted to ask about, I forgot. What?
Edit this out.
I kind of want, edit this out. I kind of wanted to ask about food still, but I don't know if you know about, Joe mentioned the what the fuck?
D-flux, G-flux, and N-flux.
Do you want me to just come over there?
Yeah.
And now we have a special guest.
Special guest, Mr. Joe Sullivan is back.
Because too meathead, too dumb, definitely too dumb.
He's so nice to me. It's so nice.
I wanted to ask both of you guys, That's an interesting way because I just see it as a cheat meal. A lot of people binge, I've done it. But a deflux meal is interesting. That's an interesting name. And then the other two, you mentioned like when you're sick, I didn't even think of this. When you're sick, you bump the protein up, wipe the carbs because you'll get inflamed and shit. So for me, I feel like I've experienced that where I've done, not on purpose though, on accident, where I just did only protein. And I feel like I'm full as fuck. I feel amazing. So I just want to know where are you placing those? Like deflux meal is just a cheat meal, right?
Deflux meal is like dopamine fluxing.
It's like it's how I talked about when I was recording with Kenny. It's like I'm trying not to yell in your ear.
No, I know. I'm trying to put the mic over here.
It was basically knowing the principles or knowing what we're actually going for or like looking to get out of something and then orienting the cheat meal like that. Because if I just say cheat meal, that doesn't really give anybody an idea as to like what it is that they should be doing. If I say deflux and then that person knows this is a dopamine fluxing meal, which is literally just there to psychologically get you back into dieting and make you excited about something, make you feel good about looking towards or looking forward to something. And it's relying on dopamine, anticipation, excitement, feel good.
So like if one of your favorite meals is like a burger and fries and milkshake, that would be your deflux meal.
Your cheat meal isn't going to be a cheat meal. It's going to be a deflux that you have at your favorite burger and fry spot. And you get that as your last meal after a hard training week or something like that. You've heard other people say like, oh, I need a refeed. Refeeds are generally like carbohydrate oriented. That's what we would use the term G-flux, which is glycogen fluxing. So it's like, how do you resaturate glycogen stores in the body and really fucking make somebody pumped up and ready to go into a hard training week, hard training session the next day that's really focused on that one energy pathway, like anaerobic or aerobic glycolysis, carb oriented. You feed them the fuck out of carbs. You make it super high carbohydrate, G-flux meal. And then the N-flux meal is nitrogen fluxing, because what happens when you eat protein? It causes an increase in nitrogen in your body through the metabolic action of like digesting the protein. What happens when you get an increase in nitrogen? You can have these anti-inflammatory effects and these excessive healing effects and stuff. So those are the terms that we use, but it's really like most of the time it's just a deflux. Less frequently it's a G-flux, very infrequently it's an N-flux, but it's really just same way that we talked about your training, same way we talked about everything else. It's knowing like what we're actually, like what the principles are and what we're going for, like what the actual outcome is, and then orienting the action that we take around that.
Yeah, that makes it even just, everything being so specific makes it a lot more fun for me too.
Because you know what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
There's purpose behind it versus just like, oh, you just need to eat this because coach said so. And it's like, why do I need to do this, coach? And it's like, oh, it's intuition. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've tried stuff like that where it's like in the past, but I never got an explanation. I didn't know why the fuck I was doing it. I kind of picked up on it as I researched it, but like the refeed, I've done a refeed, I've done like obviously a cheat meal. And then the other one, we haven't programmed any of those yet, but I'll try them all because everything
like when you eat it, you'll know.
Yeah. But
you'll know why.
We also mentioned how meatheads, bodybuilding coaches specifically, they get tied to like, what am I trying to say? We talked about like the pie filling shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I got told on a refeed day to do pie filling.
What?
I wasn't using insulin, and looking back, I'm like, now that I know how to use insulin and you explained it, I'm like, this would work if I was using something like the high day that I had. It would work if I was using insulin, but I feel I was also pretty lean, so I guess my insulin sensitivity was all right. But still, I should have been fucking using insulin.
Pie filling?
Yeah,
That
so
was
it came.
like a specified thing. That they told you to
It
eat?
came from Chad. It originated from Chad Nichols. You know Chad Nichols.
Yes.
He back in the day, they used to have a pie filling that had like some type of dextrose.
Maltodextrose.
Yeah, it had that in it, and it was like a specific brand. So he'd have all his clients on a refeed day, and it had 0 fat, use pie filling in every meal. And the more I looked it up, and I'm like, first of all, when I was doing this, it's not even the same formula. So it's not. It doesn't have the carbs in it.
Yeah.
And I put together after talking to Joe, like I could have just done a fucking, once you know why you're eating it, you can substitute other shit. Like I could have just done carbolin with chicken. Like I didn't need to do fucking pie filling. So a lot of stuff like that is like, like my light.
I haven't even heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, my light bulb goes off, and Milos talks about it too. And the light bulb goes off, and I'm like, okay, I just need to do more research. If you go into this being stupid and you just follow whatever your coach says and you don't check why, you're just. But
it's like people, coaches, and I'm not calling out as certain coaches, they get known for doing things a certain way or something like the pie filling, and it's like, yeah, but if you pull back the curtain, you see the laundry list of drugs these guys are also on that are making them look like so. Math isn't mathing. That's what
I'm saying. That's why I was like, okay, well, I'm not using. When I found out, like, I think I heard Milos talk about it because he's known for insulin, and I was like, oh, that's why I don't feel like this fucking worked, because I'm not using the drugs that are prescribed with the random specific foods that I'm getting told to eat. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I do this? But yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday. How just being smart, just asking questions, understanding what you're doing so that you can substitute things when needed.
And it's like, at the end of the day, this is your fucking health. Like, you shouldn't just blindly follow something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
These are things that can change your life forever.
If your coach can't answer it.
Yeah, it's like if your coach can't answer it, then they don't even fucking know either. They're just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's the mentality I used to have, but I know Joe's been through that already, the warrior mentality where fuck it, I will die for this goddamn squat. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I will kill myself for this squat. I used to feel like that. I grew up watching Rich Piana, people like that. So
Piano Man.
That mentality was what I thought it would take, but now working with Joe, talking to you, seeing the people that work with you guys and under you, I'm like, okay, that is definitely not the approach.
I've never had that mentality. Like, I am a fucking bitch, dude.
Really?
Like, I do not like discomfort. If something hurts, if something feels like it's tweaked, I will stop the session.
I think that's like, smart as fuck.
But it's like, that's why I've never been injured.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I have aches and pains, but it's like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to just keep staying a bitch, whatever. I don't care.
I'm gonna start being a bitch too. Fuck it. I could apply that.
Yeah, and gay.
Yeah, I'm gay and I'm a bitch. That's what we learned. That is what we learned today in Vegas. You learn something new every day. I learned I'm gay. I'm not trying to offend anybody, so I apologize, but we did learn a couple things.
You can be anything you want to be. It's 2023.
That's true. I want to be a fucking, I don't know. I want to be a...
End the podcast.
Yeah, I want to be a fucking T-Rex. I don't know what I want to be. But... Good, Wyatt?
Yeah.
All right. It was a pleasure. Pleasure getting to meet both of you guys, getting the opportunity to talk to both of you and pick your brain. That's enough anabolic activities for today. Leave a comment, like the video. We're always in the comments replying. And yeah, let us know what you think. Yeah!
That was interesting.